Welcome guys to another video, and welcome back to my cruise ship tutorial. This is part 8, and as you can see, we are doing the elevator lobbies. So this is the first episode that we'll actually be doing the interior of the ship. Doesn't mean we're done with the exterior. As you can see, there's a lot more stuff to do, and there's actually a couple things I want to fix that we did last episode that I want to, go over a little bit. First of all, I forgot to flip this part, so we can just do that quickly. Just get it over with. So, yeah. And then another thing here, when you flip, it's gonna look like this. So, it's pretty easy fix. And then another thing, I also wanna... Okay, actually, I'm gonna do... Yeah. Okay, so, well, we've sort of done that. Now we can move on to the interior. So no shaders for this episode because for some reason, they're not working. And my game just crashes when I turn them on, so... I'm just gonna have to deal with that. So the first thing, there's going to be 2 elevator lobbies on this ship. Typically there's 3, but this is a smaller ship, and I believe there's only going to be 2, because I think there'll be more than enough elevators once we actually have the elevator, or the atrium elevators in. So there's going to be one here, and then one back there. It's where this giant dome is. So, yeah. Alright, so now you take a gold block and basically see where the giant sort of look down to the atrium is going to be. So I believe that this should be right. It's a little big actually. Oh, my fault. There we go. Alright. So typically I like having this as an odd block and 7. That's about right. Alright, so these will be our elevators going down, the atrium elevators that you see. So it's going to be the same type of elevator as the Legacy, which just came out, and Olympian and Triumph. They all have the same atrium elevators. It's different on Elysian, but I'm going to keep them like so. Alright, so this is going to be a waterfall down. I actually got to see. So I believe these are our 2 entertainment decks. Alright, so these are our 2 entertainment decks. So that means these are only going to go down to here. So we can stack that down and see what it looks like. Should be about 20. Alright, that was 2 off. Close enough. So, and then that gives us about 5 blocks. Okay, so that gives us about 5 blocks of leeway. So, for the elevator lobbies, I really don't want them to be this wide. But of course, I'm going to have a 2 block space between here, and then this is where we will start. So we'll start down here. This is deck 0, I believe. Or deck 1, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, this is the crew deck. Alright. So, I don't want them to be that wide because I want more space, you know? Yeah, so I want more space. So actually, maybe I might make these elevators a little smaller. But, nah, I'm just going to keep it like that just because I think it looks good. So, I think this should be a decent amount. So, these elevators are going to be different. They're going to be lined up like this. So, you have a door there and a door here. And then this should be enough room to have some stairs. I'll just take spruce for now. So, 1 more block. And you'll see why I add that 1 block later on. Okay, you just gotta make sure you know what you're doing here. Make sure it's all right. So this is definitely, it's a little small, but it's a small ship, so, you know, I think it's fine. Yeah, alright, so now we get some torches so we can actually see down here. But now, this is where you decide what the interior of your ship is going to look like, because typically on a ship, it has one central color theme. So for example, I can think about the Carnival Breeze. It's tan and brown mostly. And then like the Magic, there's a lot of green, a lot of brown, a lot of like, you know, that sort of hue of color. And then Olympian, typically my ships I use darker wood, but I don't think I want to use darker wood on this ship, I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm gonna do white and tan. So yeah, so my favorite block in the game is chiseled quartz, and so you see that is the start of an elevator. And then have this around, and then these elevators aren't actually going to be practical, because what I do is I think this looks a lot more like an elevator, and plus it's hard to use elevators in Minecraft because you don't even know what floor you're on, so it's better to just walk up the stairs. But yeah, and then have this around here. All right. And then just fill this in with more sandstone. There we go. And then this will be the next floor. So that's where we're going to put our carpet for what we want. But for now, I'm going to get a blast furnace because I like to have that there, because you know, typically it's going to switch floors or carpets, and so you'll see there's like a sort of like a thin metal strip that sort of extends a little bit off the floor, so this is kind of what that is. So yeah, and here I'm trying to think if I want to do anything different here, if I just want to leave it. I think I'm just going to leave it. Alright, so here I think I'm actually going to keep the spruce wood here. And then you gotta think, this is Minecraft, so obviously it looks small. This is 1 meter wide, which that is, I'm trying to see how long this is with my hand, sort of. So it's still a little small. Maybe I think I should probably make this 1 block wider, because yeah, I'm just gonna make this 1 block wider. It'll just make everything a lot more easier. So it's still going to be, you know, decently small, but, you know, actually I'm going to have the furnaces here as well. So now we can move this giant wood beam to the side, and we can add in the rest of our stairs. I messed up there. Oops. All right, here. And then I'm just going to fill this in. We're going to fill that in with carpet soon. Just we gotta figure out what carpet we're actually gonna use. Here, matches the stairs, so I'm gonna use spruce trapdoors there. So that just covers the carpet and it just makes it look a lot better. So for the carpet, I'm just thinking blue colors, or maybe red. Maybe do red for this ship. What did I do on a legend? I think I did gray and blue. So maybe I do like red. Maybe just red. I gotta think what goes with this. Because obviously blue is a safe choice, as always, but I do like red. I really never do red. So we're gonna do red. Alright, so first things I'm thinking, these, I would use concrete powder, but it's gonna fall. So I'll show you. See, which I wish it wouldn't do that, but unfortunately it does. And oh, I forgot to get rid of it. Oops. Okay, I gotta think. Are there any other red blocks in the game that we could use here? Could use shulker boxes. think that would be interesting. I think I'm going to do that. That looks a little weird. Maybe if I have them standing up. I think that could look interesting. So that would be here. And then here, we're gonna add a light. We're gonna get a frog light. So that way, you can actually see. And then set the rest of this to carpet. So I think we need one more accent color in there that's not red to really make this carpet look phenomenal. So maybe gray, light gray. Maybe pink, like a pink terracotta maybe? So that'd be, I think 6. So that definitely looks interesting, right? I think maybe it's too like rough, and then that makes it look too bright. That's way too bright. Actually, it probably looks better. I think I actually like that. I'm not gonna lie. Oops. Alright, so yeah, now as you can see, this shows, so I'm just gonna get the trapdoor again and do that. And then here, you might be wondering, well, what are we gonna do for the roof? Because you don't want your roof or your ceiling to look like the next floor's floor, because that is disgusting looking. So what I do, I just use iron trapdoors and I just cover it up, as you can see. And yeah, so now you can see the basic sort of imprint. And I'm actually gonna flip this right now, just because it'll give you a better picture, overall picture of what, you know, this is sort of gonna look like. So as you can see, you got your 2 elevators, you got your floor, you got your weird looking, I think I might change that honestly. I think it looks a little weird, but you know, you have your stuff, and then you have your stairs. And do the stairs work? Yes, they do. That is very important. So here, I think I'm just gonna put leaves. Maybe mango leaves. That looks a little weird. I don't know. What type of leaves we put here? Maybe actual flying azalea leaves. And then I have an idea for here. Go put some walls here. Now comes the thinking time, because this doesn't line up, so we can't really do anything there. At least with slabs and whatnot. Maybe have like this. So yeah, maybe. So I would do this, but that's way too blocky, so I won't do that. Is there a fence I can use that looks better? Maybe like a cherry fence. Because it's red, I think. I don't know, I'm colorblind, so it's not very, helpful. I think that looks good for what we're trying to do. Here, stairs work. Okay, so sorry about that. Typically on these types of ships, there is a little design here. So what I would do is, very simple design like that. And then you also got to account for down here, because this is part of the thing being flipped. I'm just gonna get in here and just do this. So there we go. And then it's also good to have a light here. So I'm just gonna steal this here, and then obviously oldest trick in the book, covering up a light with carpet. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for what we're doing. And then another thing I'm going to do, and you guys probably can't do this, but I have a mod that allows me to bring up this. So I'm gonna look for numbers, and of course they're out of order. That is not cool. Where's 1? There's 3. Am I blind or something? Sorry about that chair squeak, by the way. Jeez. Okay. Okay, I don't even... That's not... Okay, what do we need a square bracket closed head for? Can we just get numbers and letters, please? Alright, well, I might do this off camera. Yeah, I'm gonna do that off camera. So that's annoying. Alright, now you just stack this up. Make sure when you're stacking... And actually, hold up. Actually, there. That looks better. Or, no, wait. Let's just use slabs. Duh. Alright, so make sure when you're stacking, you don't double stack it. It's the same as balconies. You want to start here and then go here. And then we do stack 1 U, which goes up. As you can see, we have our little balcony, and okay, that came back to bite us, right? Alright. So now alright. Yeah, that's fine. There we go. Alright, and then here, right, I forgot about that. I forgot to do this ceiling. So we can do that quickly here. As you can see, go up, and then we're gonna restack this. So start from here, and up here. Alright, go 1 U. And then that brings us to the first entertainment deck, which this is when things change. So this is when things change. So we can stack it up again. So as you can see, here's the floor, but this is the actual floor. As you can see, I break this block. See, it's 1 off, and that is because these decks are 1 block taller than the passenger decks. And the reason for that is so you can have an entire block for your ceiling, so you can add extra design in it. It's not just trapdoors. And then also on ships, these decks are taller. So yeah, and the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to take this, go to here, move it 1 up, so we have this sort of gap. And then from here, I'm going to remove all the trapdoors because we're going to have our own ceiling for this deck. And bring this up, add stairs here, stack this one up, and then have this there. So that fixes that hole, the stairs there. And then here, there's no light, so we can just move the light from there to just here. And bring that up 1, and have it like that. And then here, as you can see, looks a little weird, right? So we can get rid of this and have pretty much an entire design. So I'm gonna have this go all around here. So for your design, you can do, there's a lot of things that you can do, but here I'm gonna keep it simple. Here. So, yep. And then also make sure you have enough room here. Actually, I might just make this slabs here. So I like having my ceilings pretty much basic white. because I think it looks better. And here, I can just add slabs there. So all that works. And then here, do something different. We're gonna keep that. Just have this go on up. There. So that is the updated design. All right, so just making sure everything works. Now we'll see when we stack it up, and then also fill this in. We'll see if it works. So this looks fine. Actually, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I want to add something here. So this is a classic sort of chandelier of mine. So there. So that just gives it a lot more space. So yeah, we can stack that up. And okay. Is that wrong? Okay, so you can leave these blank actually, because these aren't going to be room decks. These are just entertainment decks. So that's just going to change based off what happens with what I do with those decks. So make sure all of this works, and forgot to do that. And then here actually you can just do stairs. Yeah, all right. Get this done there. There we go. Actually, couldn't I? Okay, I could do this. And then have it the same way up here. So this just makes it a lot more smoother, and you can actually get away with it because it's not going to impact what happens here. So yeah, all right. Now it goes back to make sure every time you do this, make sure the decks line up, which they still do. So now I'm just going to take this deck here, make sure that's right, copy here, remember where you copy it, and this is the same block, and paste, and now you just have one of those normal decks. Make sure everything's fine here, so I'm gonna have to redo this. And then come here, get that done, and now you can continue stacking it up to the Lido deck. So that brings us all the way up to the Lido deck, and then the same thing here. Take this deck. Remember where I copy it. Come all the way up here. Paste. Make sure everything's right, which it is. And now it goes back to a 3-block deck. And then now this one's a little different because you don't want to, because as you can see, the next floor is the floor of the outside decks. And so it's going to be different. So you don't want to copy this block. You just want to get these 3 blocks here. So that's all you need because you already have the floor. So come up here and paste. And then now you don't need these. You don't need these stairs. So you can just block them up like they're never there. And I would also advise going through each one of these decks and making sure that everything is fine, which it looks fine. It looks good. Just keep going through, making sure everything's good. Alright. So it looks good. So, last thing I'm going to do is, as you can see, the carpet is the same on every single deck, which is not what you want. So you want it to be random, random designs. It just looks, better, gives it more character. So you're going to take each one of the colors in here. So it takes 35, 6, 35, 14, 251, 14, 159, 14, and tough. And then just replace it with the same exact thing. And this will just switch all of it up. And I clearly messed up somewhere. Okay, not really sure why I messed up. Okay, I must have made the wrong selection. There we go. So now, as you can see, it is all randomized. You can do this a couple of times until, really switch it up. So that is an elevator lobby. So it looks ugly, but this is how it is. And then we want to see how much room we have for the actual cabins, and it is more than enough room. So we're going to be fine. Alright. It's just here, these little walkways that are going to be a little tight, but cabins, perfectly fine. More than enough room. I pretty much designed the ship so be that way. Knew it was going to be small, so I made it a couple blocks wider. Can't really tell, but it just makes things easier. So now you have to get this thing all the way over there. So how do you do that? Well, you just copy and paste it, obviously. So come here, find the middle block, come down here. We're actually going to break in one, and we're going to copy it, and then go all the way over here to where this deck is. Okay, we're gonna, okay, pause that. Oh, oops. Okay, pause that. So, I just want to make sure that we're not gonna break into anything. So I believe it's fine. I believe it goes to the same one. So, here's where the elevator lobby starts. Make sure this is the middle. Looks like the middle. Yep, and before you paste, rotate it, and then paste. Okay, never mind. I completely messed that up. So I believe, where were we? I think we're right here on this block. Okay, never mind. Don't rotate it. That's not how I copied it. Okay, there we go. So there we go. Now it's in there. Make sure it doesn't break through, which it does not. Perfect. Now you have your elevator lobbies. How about that? And make sure it's in right. And then that gives us more than enough room to extend out here, build a little plaza atrium, and have our dining room, and then our lounge up there, our exclusive lounge at least. And then it also gives us enough room to build our atrium and everything else that we need. And it also gives us enough room in the front to build our theater, which is going to be smaller. It's only going to be 2 decks. I already know I'm going to build it, but we'll get done, and then it's going to be the first thing that we build on this deck. I'm just going to take up all that room, and then all the way back here is going to be a bunch of just backstage areas and crew offices and all. More crew stuff. But the next thing we do will be the crew deck. It's going to be a rather long episode because there's a lot to do here. Especially if you get detailed and add pretty much everything that's actually on the crew deck and not just rooms. But so, yeah, that's it for this one. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, do whatever you want. Like, comment, subscribe. Next episode's coming out soon, so be ready for that. See you guys in the next one.